Two signs just like this one, as you can hear, are very sturdy. They were destroyed by the vehicle. Now, officials believe that a high utility vehicle had to be used in order to cause all this damage.
Yes, sir.
For the past 4 years, Michael Johns has spent his holidays in Hickory.
Well, ma'am, Merry Christmas.
Working for the Salvation Army's Christmas Kettle campaign.
Well, folks, Merry Christmas. The season came around and I was applying for seasonal jobs at Big Lots and Sam's Club, and somebody told me I could ring the bell. I thought, yeah, I could ring the bell. Perfect job for a man sitting in a wheelchair with no legs.
For sometimes 12-hour shifts, he rings the bell.
Well, the Salvation Army helps a lot of people. Try not to cry, sorry. They helped me in times when I needed shelter.
For most of his life, Johns struggled with drug addiction and alcoholism. The lowest point came when he tried to kill himself.
I found myself in the winter cold, homeless, trying to die, trying to freeze to death, basically.
A homeless man found him and called 911.
And I woke up six weeks later without my legs.
On his road to recovery, he found religion and the Salvation Army.
My Savior, Jesus Christ, was beaten, chastised, spit upon, cursed at, and hung on a cross for 3 days for me. And I love ringing the bell for him.
So far, he's raised $35,000.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. God bless you.
But he's not done.
I'm 42 years old and I want to raise $100,000 by the time I'm 50.
And hoping to also spread a little faith.
There's hope in Jesus Christ. Hello, folks. Merry Christmas.
In Catawba County, Vanessa Leon, Spectrum News.
I think it was undoubtedly a miracle come from God.
Hickory father Richard Holler lost his son Joshua unexpectedly in 2003. He built this memorial for him.
So it took me a year to cut all these timbers. They're 8 by 8 inch.
Overlooking Drowning Creek.
He used to come out here and sit by the creek.
A friend carved the hands out of the trunk, and he put his son's ashes inside his son's Harley-Davidson gas tank.
We rode motorcycles together. We enjoyed it, you know, as a father-son.
A year after his son died, Holler also lost his 2-month-old granddaughter.
It was appropriate to put them both in, you know, at that time.
On June 8th, more than a foot of rain fell in the area, and Holler says Drowning Creek grew about 12 feet, flooding his home and carrying off the urn.
My daughter actually come out to check and see what the condition was out here, and they all started screaming. I heard them from up there, but they all lost it because the tank was gone.
The family posted a plea on Facebook asking for help.
Talking about finding a needle in the haystack, that wasn't even a needle. That was a speck of dust.
But just 2 days later, some Hickory residents did find that speck of dust cruising on a boat in Lake Hickory. They found the urn, a bright spot of red, hidden among piles of debris.
That was the Lord returning to us what the floods took.
A miracle, he says.
God works miracles. And that was definitely a miracle.
In Hickory, Vanessa Leon, Spectrum News.
It was amazing because, you know, during that time, we didn't have no computers, nothing like that. So football, really, you know, it's just in our blood. We just love playing that sport, you know, during recess. On Sunday, you know, anytime we had a chance, we played football.
71-year-old Hampton Davis Jr. has lived in Hickory his whole life. He attended Ridgeview High School. No longer there, it was a segregated high school in Hickory's Ridgeview neighborhood.
The Ridgeview community was a close family.
From 1963 to 1965, Davis was a defensive back for the Ridgeview Panthers football team. But it was his junior year, 1964, when they became the Untouchables.
Through the season, you know, we wasn't scored on, so we got the confidence to say, well, let's try to just go on and try not to be scored on, you know. So, you know, it just happened that way.
For 55 years, the team has held the North Carolina High School Association's record for consecutive shutouts, not giving up a single point for 14 games. They're also tied with Independence High School for the most consecutive regular season game wins at 74. But no physical recognition exists, not a banner, no monument.
I think possibly because of the days of segregation the way records were kept then, the story really doesn't share too much outside of Hickory.
That will soon change. The United Arts Council of Catawba County has been awarded a $10,000 grant from the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation to build a mural honoring the team and Ridgeview High.
This was huge. This was huge for Ridgeview, huge for Catawba County, huge for the city of Hickory.
I just wish that the players is here that's going on, because they didn't get the rewards. That's 50 years ago, you know. So
There's going to be an archway built over the top of the gates there. And on the side, there's going to be 2 murals with pictures of the football team.
Honoring the accomplishments of a record-breaking team which brought a segregated community together.
oh man, the community, like, it just shut down the whole community. Wasn't nothing open that night. Yeah, everybody came over. You know, some people from the white community came over. You know, I mean, it'd be packed, you know.
Football broke that racial barrier. Football brought races together right here in Ridgeview.
In Catawba County, Vanessa Leon, Spectrum News. Less than a mile from school, a West Alexander Middle School bus was hit by a Toyota around 7:35 Monday morning. 19 children were on the bus. 12-year-old Chris Shoemake was one of them.
Bus flew off the road and then flipped.
Highway Patrol said 56-year-old Kimberly Austin was driving this car when she crossed the yellow line, swiping the bus coming in the opposite direction, causing it to slide off Eichard Ridge Road.
I landed on the wall.
13 children were taken to area hospitals, and so was the driver of the bus. Shoemake was one of the 6 students taken back to school.
Went and tried to get the door to open.
He called me from the bus driver's cell phone to let me know there was an accident, but he was okay.
But just a few hours later, Shoemake started to get sick, so she's decided to take him to the hospital.
Just to be on the safe side.
He does have a bump on his head. The other students also have bumps and bruises, but one, troopers say, has serious injuries and is at the Children's Hospital in Winston-Salem. The driver of the car has been cited with a DWI and driving left of center. She left the hospital just a few hours later against medical advice, according to hospital officials. In Alexander County, Vanessa Leon, Spectrum News.